say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land?
Thanks to Skylar Cole for that stirring rendition of our national anthem. And we'll be right back. Hi everyone, time to get into it. NBA action on 2K Sports. Tonight we'll see the San Antonio Spurs as they play against the Portland Trail Blazers here at Moda Center. This is Kevin Harlan, and by my side, Greg Anthony and Brent Barry. And from the sideline, David Aldridge. Taking a look here at some of the numbers for Deni Avdija.
And guys, how about the surge of offense he's experiencing right now? These last 5 games, he's been a machine at the offensive end. A different score than he had been earlier in the season. We'll find out if he can keep it going here tonight.
And the starting group for the Spurs. In the backcourt, it's the veteran Paul paired with Castle. Devin Vassell out there with Keldon Johnson. And it's Sochan in at the 5 down low. And for the Trailblazers, they've got Deni Avdija. Also, Anfernee Simons out there. Grant is out there with Klingon. And it's Kamare in at the power forward position. And we know the second night, Greg, of a back-to-back can be rough.
And the NBA has put in work trying to minimize these, but sometimes it's unavoidable. And if you have a long bench, this is when you lean into it.
Ooh, put a little extra on that one.
He does. He doesn't usually finish soft either. Obviously, he can when necessary, but not that time. Now, here's Vassell. 6 to shoot. From deep three-point land. Shoots from the corner. Shot is good off the back rim and in.
And he doesn't have to worry about the clock. Vassell has such a repeatable stroke.
Simons against Paul. Here's Kamare. He just worked San Antonio in that last game. Simons. Oh, what a jam! Simons!
And how about the explosiveness of Simons? Man, can he get up and finish with power?
On our AT&T 5G Slam Cam, you just saw an explosive highlight. Now here's Paul. Johnson in the corner. For the 3. Avdija with the rebound. And so it's Avdija with it. He brings it up for the Portland Trail Blazers. Last time these two teams came together was also in this building. They were able to win it for the home fans.
And the last time they were able to come away with that win because of their depth. Great production from the reserves.
Probably looking for more of the same here, as we know a deep bench so crucial to any team's success. Here's
Vassell. Trailblazers knocking down the trail. Greg, you know this. Getting that second contract is a major goal for young players in the NBA, like Devin Vassell.
And Devin did, signing a huge 5-year extension in 23. He ended up having his finest year after inking that deal. Vassell has a very bright future.
It didn't take long for the Blazers to find Damian Lillard's heir apparent, did it, Greg?
Yeah, they drafted Scoot Henderson with the 3rd overall pick in 2023. Took him a little time to get his sea legs, but his talent is undeniable.
He hits the second from the line. You know, Greg, with the combination of Wembanyama and Coach Greg Popovich, the Spurs should be a great defensive team.
Yeah, it's hard with a young roster because all 5 guys have to work in unison, and often someone's going to make a mistake.
And the Spurs with possession after the Trailblazers pick up 2. Here's Castle. That shot is off. Avdija with a defensive effort. Pulls it from the elbow. San Antonio with the rebound.
Not a problem when that's your first miss of the game. Strong start.
Sohan, the pass to Paul.
Trailblazers foul. First personal foul. Second team foul.
And so it's San Antonio with it. They trail by 6. Down to 5 on the shot clock. It's Vassell on the wing. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Vassell's got his second bucket of the night.
And what do you expect from Vassell? He's an accurate shooter from the perimeter.
Back to Simons. Over Paul. And it's Simons missing. Spurs trail by 3. And the basket by Castle.
That's just tremendous scoring instinct. So fun to watch him work in the half court.
And Simons has got the ball here for the Trailblazers. And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Henderson's checked in for the Trailblazers. Spurs also with the sub. Mamu Kelishvili is checked in. Here's Henderson. Vassell grabs the board.
Yeah, can't see why he missed that one there. The D's close, but like plenty of room.
Pass to Sohan. Paul surveying the floor. Shoots over Simon. And it's Paul missing.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Grant outside. Simons from outside. Kept alive. Pass to Grant. His first shot is a miss. 0 for 1 to start the contest. Here's Castle. Henderson defending. Here's Sohan. Out of bounds. Portland takes possession. And with this chance, let's quickly go to our rookie leaderboard and find out who the top assist men are among the first-year players. In the third spot, Scoot Henderson.
A number of gifted passers entering the NBA this season, and he's right up there among the very best. I like what I've seen from him as a distributor.
And we've got a timeout called by Chauncey Billups. He's going to have a discussion here on the sideline.
Chance here to check out some stats for Avdija. Just an incredible month of basketball, averaging about 26 points per, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists. And he's also a bit of a stopper defensively. They put him in, and their defense really tightens up.
This is his specialty. He sits on the bench, he gauges what's happening offensively, and he comes in and sticks the opponent's top scorer to freeze him out.
Simons on the wing, defended by Paul. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. Simons has got 9.
He's got a lot to do with the position that they're in. A very smart offensive performance tonight from him.
There's the 3. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Trailblazers leading by 3. It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Chauncey Billups and I got a chance to talk for a bit. Now, Coach had nothing but respect when it came to Chris Paul. He said every aspiring young point guard should study CP3. He's an ideal floor general, a fierce competitor, and he always seems to make the right play. It's going to take a team effort defensively to slow down his impact. Kevin?
Thanks, David. GA, there is a lot to like about the game of Stephon Castle.
Size, playmaking, defensive intensity. I guess the question, is there that one thing that he can do at an elite level? That will be a crucial step if he's to become a star.
That's good from Castle. Hey, Brett, what's one area where we really see these Portland Trailblazers excelling?
Well, they're great on the offensive glass. They have presence on the inside. They have a ton of focus on just collecting rebounds. so great at retrieving those misses.
Catching up on the changes for Portland. Reith is checked in. And Murray subbed in for Grant. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Trailblazers leading by 3. A minute 50 left to play here in the first. Connects from three-point range.
A part of Henderson's game that's improving. Nice to see him build some confidence from behind the line.
Ball outside. And stolen by Murray. Here's Sharp. Count the basket.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
On the wing, Barnes. 1:15 left in the first quarter. Mamukelashvili passes to Barnes. Pass to Mamukelashvili. Basket is good. The assist from Barnes.
Harrison Barnes out there looking to involve his teammates on that play.
Henderson looking it over. No good on the triple. Spurs trail by 6. Here's Castle. His last outing we saw him pour in 22. And again, San Antonio turns it over. The Trailblazers making a switch here. Walker's checked in. The Spurs also with the sub. Ranham's checked in. .41 seconds left to play in the first quarter. A shot by Sharp. Nobody around. A three-pointer, no good. And so it's Paul with it, bringing it up for the Spurs. 6-point game. And it's Portland with the rebound. Their last game, a win against San Antonio, looking to carry that into this one.
Yeah, I think they prepared to face more defensive pressure, and that one didn't happen, and boy, they just rolled.
It took just a little bit of time, but once they figured out the D on that night, man, their offense was rolling. Can't talk enough about the subtleties in that setup right there. The assist, really the key to that entire sequence.
What a performance from Anfernee Simons. He has been the story for the Trailblazers. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. The D is having all sorts of problems with him. And we'll be back with you shortly. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. What stands out to you guys from the Trailblazers so far in this one?
Well, they used the fast break to generate some easy buckets before the defense could get set.
Yeah, they did a great job. Just the initial thrust of that attack, as soon as they got the ball, constantly in transition.
The guard pair are Henderson and Sharp. Then there's Murray. Then there's Matisse Thybulle. And it's Kamare in at the 4. That's the group on the floor for Portland. That's tipped. Down low. Here's Barnes, and it's Barnes slamming it down.
Yeah, Barnes making that dunk look really easy.
Portland trailing here. Pass to Kamare. Back to Henderson. Over Wesley. And that one's good by Henderson. Henderson's got his second basket of the night. And Brent, you hear some players now having their shooting motion analyzed with optical recognition. More data for the shot doctors.
Well, Kevin, information is one thing, but disseminating that information and being able to communicate that to a player is really where the rubber meets the road. How are you going to help him grow with that kind of analysis?
On the wing, Johnson. Barnes outside from downtown. Nailed from three-point land. Barnes has got it all tied up now for the Spurs. Now, here's Sharp. Not a lot of room. To the paint. Just 5 on the clock. From past the arc. That shot missing. The Spurs have gone 3 of 4 from the floor here in the second quarter. Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Hey, Kevin. Greg Popovich is guiding a young Spurs team that's hoping to return this franchise to the dominance that saw 5 titles since 1999. Pop said the standards haven't changed. Be very direct, demand, be fair, and love them. They got to know you care about them. So it's all the same formula from 25 years ago to today. Kevin?
It's an interesting story, David. Thank you. And of course, as a Hall of Famer, you bringing that to us? Perfect. Murray sets a screen for Sharp. Second chance shot. And the layup is good. Sharp's got his second basket.
Boy, is he active. I love seeing Sharp just get after it on the backboard.
We know, Brent, there are many roads that lead to the modern NBA. And Shaedon Sharp took his own unique path.
Yeah, Kevin, you could say that again. I mean, he was on the Kentucky campus as a player, but never participated in a collegiate game, and then all of a sudden finding himself at the top end of the NBA draft without ever playing a college game.
3 minutes of action so far in the second quarter. Wesley the pass to Mamu Kelishvili. Now Wesley. Here's Champagnie. He has 7. Pass to Mamu Kelishvili. No good there. Murray with the defensive effort. Last game for the Spurs. They want to turn it around after the loss to the Trailblazers in Portland. It's off to Utah after this game where they'll face the Jazz. That'll be just 1 game played away from home for them. And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play. Barnes can't get it to go. The Trailblazers have gone 5 of 7 from the field here in the second. Henderson kicks to Murray. Knocks down the 3-ball. And now a 5-point Portland lead.
Yeah, and they're starting to warm up from the field this quarter.
And timeout is called by Greg Popovich. He's ready to talk things through with the team. Both teams deciding to change it up. A moment now to look at the year-to-year scoring output and how it has been trending for Keldon Johnson.
And looking at his offensive numbers from the past few years, it seems like teams around the league have kind of figured him out. He's having to work a lot harder for his points, and they haven't been coming nearly as easily as they used to.
Back to Paul. Pass to Sohan. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Again, the miss by the Spurs. Trailblazers leading by 5. Clinging with it. And Stephon Castle is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. And Portland making a change here. Kamara is checked in.
For your Trailblazers, number 33, Toumani Camara.
Outside, Avdia. Pass to Kamara. 4 on the clock. Here's Simons. And it's Mamu Kelishvili with the rebound. Well, it was the San Antonio Spurs in their last game, a loss to Portland.
Well, in that one, you could pretty much see the writing on the wall. Their performance was lackluster at best.
Yeah, and they didn't get like blown out in that game, but it felt deflating and it felt like they got crushed. They could not get anything going no matter who they had out on the court.
And Simons wide open. He'll fight. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. Here's Vassell. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. And now a quick rundown of the leading free throw shooters at small forward this year. It's a pretty sure thing whenever one of them gets to the line. 5th, Jeremy Grant.
And there are some smooth strokes among that group, guys. I mean, just effortless perfection when they are at the stripe.
do appreciate and admire when they get to the free throw line. It's all about their routine, and their percentages reflect that. Not shy about coming from the wing and driving into the lane aggressively, inviting the D to foul them.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
You watch Vassell. He's a prototype wing for this era. Has length, skill, and plays both ends of the floor.
A nice shot by Simons. And so it's Paul bringing it up for the Spurs. Trailing by 2. 3-pointer. Again, the miss by the Spurs.
And the rebound battle split evenly thus far.
Grant against Paul. Outside, Simons. Offline with his 3.
He's not very hard to defend right now. This is when the defense might step back and let him try to find his range.
Paul passes to Mamu Kelishvili. Out of bounds, Portland takes possession.
And a moment here to check out the stats for Paul. Averaging 9 points per game, 7 assists, and 3 rebounds. And he's done his share of the work for the team, definitely making an impact.
Well, the numbers, if you look at them, impressive all the way around, and he's not letting the team down.
San Antonio making a switch here. Johnson's checked in. Grant gets a wide open look. A 3-pointer is right on target. Grant's got 5.
Wow, Jeremy Grant continuing to work on his game, stretching it out to the 3-point line.
Paul passes to Johnson. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got his 4th assist in this one.
And they're shooting really well from long range this quarter. They should keep looking to the 3-point shot for some extra offense.
Grant outside. And it's Vassell with the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
Personal foul. Second team foul.
32 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Clinging the screen for Avdia. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
A willingness to play physical. Avdia not holding back.
The Trailblazers shooting their first foul shots of the night here.
And I think this is a strength of this team. Solid numbers at the line across the board, 77% collectively.
And that one misses. And he's good on the second.
Denny Avdia has a ton of versatility, and the coaches encourage him to explore. And this guy can make an impact both on and off the ball.
2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Vassell kicks to Paul. Here's Castle, defended by Avdia. 3 on the clock. Castle misses. And he drains the 3, but let's see, they may need to review it. I'm not sure the ball was out of his hand in time. And we are not
The previous play is under
going to review the tape.
And the footage relayed to the officials from the replay center in Secaucus, I think he got it off in time. The replay leaving little doubt.
After the review, the ruling on the floor is overturned.
They're going to switch the call. There is no doubt, looking at the replay, that he got it off in time.
Well, it's good they decided to take another look at it. I know some folks don't like how replay slows the game down and interrupts the flow, but when you have it there, you got to use it.
And the first half is now in the books. Portland out in front, leading by 6. And now let's get thanks, David, and we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
Welcome, everybody. Right off the bat, let's see which games are still to come tonight. Out in Miami, it'll be the Heat against the 76ers. 7:30 Eastern for the tip-off in that one.
Let me go through my papers, Ernie. This game is too close to call. Pretty evenly matched squads. This is what my...
And circling back to the first half, things have not gone as planned for the San Antonio Spurs.
Playing for one another. The phrase gets overused, but tonight it's right.
Hey, we should try a harmony.
Let's do it.
Playing for one another. And that'll do it for halftime. We send you back to Kevin Harlan, who has the second half call.
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. One of the stories here, Anfernee Simons getting it done today.
Well, we'll find out if they were able to find an answer for him over the break. He was scoring with ease in that first half.
Yeah, just way too easy out there, and I'm sure Coach is going to make that a priority at halftime.
Here's who Greg Popovich is starting in the second half. In the backcourt, it's the veteran Paul paired with Castle. Johnson is out there with Devin Vassell. And it's Sohan in at the 5. Hey, Greg, what about Jeremy Grant? He's had about every role you can imagine on any team he's played on.
And Kevin, he started out as a second-round pick, hoping to just make a team. He's been a bench spark plug, a starter, even a #1 option in Detroit for a couple years. Grant's done it all.
Portland, they have shot 2 free throws, and they're 1 of 2 so far. Free throw good, Simon. And when you're a knockdown shooter like you were, with the kind of athleticism that Anfernee Simons possesses, Brent, you're in rarefied air.
Yeah, no doubt Anfernee, one of those guys really tough to stop. You got to pick your poison with him. That quickness and his ability to get to the rim, though, that can impact what they do offensively.
Paul finds Vassell. Here's Castle. Good work there as it goes. Castle's got 6.
And guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
Simons from outside. Again, Simons missing. Spurs trail by 6. Vassell, the pass to Johnson. And he uses the glass on the layup. Johnson's got his second bucket.
Inside, Johnson gets aggressive, refusing to let the coverage stop him.
With a short break in the action, gives us a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge.
Kevin, Anfernee Simons came into the NBA at age 19, and he's paid his dues, working his way up from the end of the bench to a starring role. Coach Chauncey Billups says he just believes he's one of the best players in the NBA. And confidence is a big thing. Well, Kevin, he certainly earned it. Back to you.
I would totally agree with you, D.A. Thank you so much.
And Grant with a nice heads-up play, willing to make the next pass.
Vassell outside. Pass to Castle. That 3 off the mark. Trailblazers leading by 8. Grant kicks to Simons. Back to Grant. And the dunk by Grant.
Grant, one of those big guys that gets up off the ground like a guard. Love to see him throw it down.
San Antonio's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Here's Castle. Pass to Sohan. And it's denied. Grant on the wing. Covered by Vassell. He gets that one.
Yeah, letting it rip. They're just having fun right now.
Yeah, some of these nights you got to enjoy yourself. Not too much at the expense of the other team, but right now this team is balling.
Here's Castle. Got a hand on it, and they get it back. From deep, Johnson. Again, the miss by the Spurs.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded. And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
And timeout is called by Greg Popovich. He wants to make some adjustments to the game plan, clearly. And now, with this break, here are the premier class cleaners among rookies over the course of the past month. Donovan Clingan on top.
And every team in the league needs a guy who can go and get. I mean, his great work on the boards certainly endear him to the coaching staff.
Paul against Simons. Paul goes in. No good again that time.
And they just can't find a way to end this thing. Nothing falling right now.
Frustration seems to be mounting here, and you can see not just in their faces, but right now in their quick and hurried shot selection.
Johnson can't hit. Portland leading by 14. Grant in the post, covered by Vassell. Pass to Clingan. And the shot goes in. And the Trailblazers lead by 16.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Paul for three. Trains it from beyond the arc. Paul's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Simons against Paul. And it's Simons missing. Spurs trail by 13. Here's Vassell, and he makes good on the layup. Vassell's got 13.
No, not shy about bringing it inside. Vassell is comfortable around the hoop.
Here's Simons, and it goes down 2 points.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Johnson outside. Sohan with the screen. Back to Paul. Pass to Johnson. Puts it up. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Paul's got assist number 5 here tonight. And Simons has got the ball here for the Portland Trailblazers. At one point, they led by 16. And so Chauncey Billups calls for the timeout. Looking for a breather and maybe just one or two things to talk about. So it's both teams making substitutions here. Here's Henderson, and Henderson throws it down hard.
Oh, man, Scoot Henderson, an elite leaper.
And that last look brought to you by the AT&T 5G Slam King. Johnson outside. Pass to Mamu Kalashvili. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Paul for three. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Paul's got 2 now from beyond the arc in the third for San Antonio. Here's Sharp, and then Sharp with the dunk.
We'd heard the stories about Sharp and how impressive his vertical is. Now we see it on full display.
Back to Paul. Johnson with a screen on Henderson. The three. It's good from Barnes on the assist by Paul. Paul's got his 6th assist on the night.
And that's back-to-back threes. The D just seems to be slacking off a little bit.
Here's Murray, and it's Murray with the jam.
And he just dangles from the bucket after sending that one through.
And you can see which team has the swagger right now. Unloads from 13. Portland grabs the miss.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
Barnes grabs the miss. Spurs trail by 11. Paul left side. We've got 33 seconds left in the third. And the layup's good off the glass.
Chris Paul adept at finding space down low, and that time found a way to get it done.
Sharp, the pass to Henderson. Over Paul. Misses the jumper.
Probably not the shot that was drawn up for that possession, but you can't pass it up, and you can't knock it down.
Johnson dishes to Barnes. Al Paul puts up a three, and no good on the last second attempt this time. And so it's the Portland Trailblazers ahead by 9 as the quarter comes to a close. They've dictated the pace, pushed the ball at every chance, and it's paying off for them. We've got more in store for you right after this. And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
Yeah, those are the kind of plays that you want to put on a canvas. Just beautiful basketball.
And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this fourth period holds in store for us. The guard pair are Henderson and Sharp. Murray out there with Jabari Walker. And it's Thibault in at the 3 slot. That's the group on the floor for Portland. Here's McLaughlin. Amu-Kelishvili passes to McLaughlin. From outside, off the mark. Trailblazers leading by 9. Here's Henderson, and then Henderson with the dunk.
And Henderson doesn't need any extra motivation to head straight for the rim. Pass to McLaughlin. Here's Amu-Kelishvili, guarded by Walker. And here's Barnes for 3. Offensive rebound. Tries again. Here's Amu-Kelishvili. Now here's Barnes. The 3 ball. Sinks the 3-pointer. It's been this way since halftime. Tremendous production from beyond the arc.
Yeah, pretty infectious right here. Guys in good spirits, and percentages from downtown on the rise in the second half.
And it's Sharp missing.
Well, his shooting has been a little bit below par. You think about what this lead would look like if he was on.
Here's Amu-Kelishvili, guarded by Walker. Barnes outside. Champagnie passes to McLaughlin. 5 on the clock, and that one's good. Barnes. And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc. Walker taking his time here. Puts up a 3. It's good from long range. Nice answer back there. Love to see the competitiveness.
Yeah, both teams finding ways to the 3-point line and trying to take advantage from distance.
Pass to McLaughlin. The 3 from Barnes. Rebound by the Trailblazers. At one point, they led by 16. Lets a floater go, and Henderson lays it in. And it's a 10-point Trailblazer lead. And timeout is called by Greg Popovich. And clearly an important juncture. He's going to have some choice words with his team. New group here for Portland. Klingon, he's checked in for Murray. Grant comes in for Jabari Walker. Avdiaz checked in for Matisse Thibault. And it's Simons in for Sharp. Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Greg Popovich talking to his team during the break. He said to his guys, we need to push the pace more. Come on, guys, we're at our best when we're attacking in transition. Energy up now. Back to you guys.
Okay, David, much appreciated.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Ball finds Sohan. Over to the wing. Johnson for 3. Traps in the tray.
He was sitting back a little bit there in the first half, but feels like showtime now, and he's ready to put some major points up on the board.
Pass to Klingon. Back to Avdia. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. And the Trailblazers lead by 11.
Well, inside, Denny Avdia is confident in his ability to convert.
Johnson the screen. And here is Paul for three. And Klingon pulls it down. Klingon's got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. Simons from outside. Rebounded by the Spurs.
Yeah, the three-pointer has not been his weapon in this one. He had 1 in the first quarter and still 0 here in the second.
And the basket by Vassell.
And practice is paying off. Vassell has worked so hard to get his shooting dialed in.
And we've got a timeout called by Chauncey Billups. It's a chance for them to regroup and refocus. And Portland making a change here. Kamara is checked in. And San Antonio also making a switch. Harrison Barnes, he's checked in for Sohan. And so it's Avdia with it. He brings it up for Portland. They have a 9-point lead. Shoots the three. Offensive rebound. Klingon. And it's Klingon with the jam.
That's what he gives you, a big-time presence on the glass.
And you know what, Greg? Once he gets his hands on it, he's not even thinking about kicking it out.
Oh, his competitiveness right now is why the teammates love him.
And really, as the three-pointers keep dropping, you get the sense that the frustration is mounting for the defense.
Simons against Paul. Simons surveying the D. Softly drops in the floater. Simons has got 21.
Well, Simons developing this kind of deception to get to that float game. Man, that'll take him to another level.
Paul with the three. Portland grabs the miss. Klingon's got the glass covered here tonight. 11 boards for him. Avdia can't hit. Spurs trail by 10. Vassell finds Barnes. Back to Vassell. Pass to Barnes. Takes a three. It fails to fall. Now shooting just a little better than 50%. 5 for 9. They get a hand on it. It's stolen by Johnson. Spurs passing it around. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Keldon Johnson. That is his first foul of the game. 1:19 left to play in the final quarter. Here's Simon. And the slam dunk by Simon.
Love the combination of skill and athleticism. Anthony Simons exploding offensively here.
Paul kicks to Vassell. Back to Paul. Vassell outside. Fires for three. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Vassell's got it back down to a single-digit deficit for the Spurs. Now, here's Avdia. He's tightly guarded and finished off by Avdia.
Guys, I think this is a game they have to feel good about as we wind through the final moments here and what looks to be a solid win for the Trailblazers.
We got to see a display of offensive prowess in this one that got it done. High-scoring game.
Bucket after bucket. They were really in attack mode all game long.
And this will make it 36 wins on the year for them. And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Anthony Simon.
Well, this was a showcase night of his skills offensively.
And the dunk by Sohan.
Assist goes to Devin Vassell.
There's 31 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Outside, Avdia to the inside. And it's Klingon with the jam.
Impressive job by the players, coaches, and don't discount the impact of these fans.
Awesome to see their output tonight, trying to urge their team on, and that can always help. That home advantage of home fans getting you going, fully on display here.
Simons with the ball. So the Trailblazers win it. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. Once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
And that about does it for the final game of the NBA regular season. For Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. And as we leave you, let's take a look at our player of the game, Anfernee Simons.